Hello guys. Just wanted to take the time and share with you this edited version of the original video, which I realized in the first video, that it did not record the audio. So I am redoing this video with the edited version, including the audio. So here, as you can see, I am going over the results that I got as when it comes to the transformation that I got when juicing this particular recipe. So I wanted to kind of go over with you some of the things that we have available. So here I was showing how I store the juices that I normally, once I make it, I usually use the mason jars. This mason jar was a gift from me, from my best friend. So I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to use these for juicing. So I use the mason jars, and I also use these plastic containers that I got off of Amazon, which is pretty cool because I was using them for my kids, and the pack that I bought actually had way too many for them. I was using them to stuff their portable drinks. Like I would put juice and water and then stick it in their refrigerator, and then I had an excessive amount left. So I thought this is also a great to-go idea if you out and about and you want to take a juice with you. This is a perfect option if you don't want to take your mason jars with you. So here I begin to explain everything that's included in the process as I begin to juice. So I also use this actual glass container I got from a Chinese supermarket, which I love because I don't have, my juicer is kind of old, so it doesn't have the original juicer container. So I use this container that I have. Once I juice it, I store it in there before I pour it into the mason jars and the plastic container. It just makes the cleanup and the dispensing a whole lot easier. So what you see here is I'm going over the different ingredients that's available, which includes 7 apples. They have to be Granny Smith apples, so there's 7 Granny Smith apples. There's also some celery, 3 sticks off of a whole bulk of celery. You only need 3 sticks. You need a ginger, a thumb of ginger, parsley, a bunch of parsley, and a bunch of cilantro, and a whole lemon, and 2 cucumbers peeled. So as you can see right here, you can see me actually blending the parsley with the cucumbers that I had already previously blended, which the video I edited out of the video, because I realized that when you are actually blending, when you're trying to juice the parsley and the celery and the type of juicer that I have, it just doesn't work. So it works better when I can blend blend the parsley and the cilantro with like cucumber juice or apple juice. So once I did that, you can see I poured it in a container, and I poured it in a container specifically because this is the container that I'm going to be using once I juice all the ingredients. I use a regular measuring container, but to actually put all the juices in, as you can see, I'm sticking it under the juicer because I don't have a regular container. So as you can see, I'm going and juicing the parsley. And I tell you, juicing can be a little messy. I mean, you can get one of those fancier blenders, which I definitely plan on getting. It definitely will make things a lot easier. So here you see me juicing the celery. Now I'm going in and juicing the entire lemon with the peel on it, and then a thumb of ginger. The ginger is highly requested to be peeled. It's better if you peel the ginger. And here, this is 1 thumb, but it broke in half because once I started peeling it, I had to break it in half to really get it peeled really good. I still didn't get it peeled all the way I wanted to. And as you can see, I was coughing because ginger and lemon, it can be pretty strong when you're actually juicing. So I went in and go ahead and juice the second ginger inside the juicer, and it can be a little rough. The ginger, you can cut up your ginger, that's great, but this actual juicer allows you to juice whole fruits like a whole apple, but sometimes it's just a bit of a struggle. So if you can cut it down and make it a little bit easier, it'll definitely make the process of juicing better. So here I have one whole apple out of the 7 apples, and this machine would allow me to juice the entire apple. But then I realized that this apple was from the previous bunch that I had did before, and I was able to juice these smaller Granny Smith apples that I got from Aldi's. It was so much easier. I can just go ahead and just juice it. But somehow with this machine, the apples that I have are a little bit larger because they didn't have the smaller apples. So I had to go and get a bag of the Granny Smith apples and eventually start to cut them up. And as you can see, I was over here having a little bit of a difficult time. So you can definitely invest in a really good juicer, which I've seen them online. They're not that expensive, to get a good size juicer. I would highly suggest it. I do have the Magic Bullet, but it was just really time consuming for me to actually go in and juice these to juice with the Magic Bullet, because the Magic Bullet was actually small and I had to cut up everything in little pieces and put them in a container, and that was a little bit difficult for me. So I got this juicer. I had this juicer. It's an older one. I thought I'd use it, and yeah, if I had to do it all over again, I would definitely. It's a good place to start if that's all you have, but I would highly recommend if you can invest in a really nice juicer. It definitely will make the difference. So here you can see me. I'm actually juicing the apples. I have a bunch of things. I have cut them up into different slices, and I didn't really slice them really small. I just sliced it into 2 halves. So as you can see here, you see me actually juicing. It takes a little bit of time, so be patient as you're juicing. You gotta put a little arm work in it, but as you can see, I'm transferring all the ingredients that I had already juiced in the juicer. I have put them inside of the glass jar container, as you can see in back of me. So there you go. You see me cutting up more of the apples. This recipe calls for 7 whole green apples. So like I said, the more you can slice them down. If you have a juicer that can handle all of this, then by gosh, go for it. But for me, sometimes you just have to just use what you have. This is what I have, so this is what I'm using. So as you can see, I'm cutting up the apples, and I'm being careful because I want to cut myself while I'm doing this. So it's good if you can have this stuff already pre-cut. I just, for the aesthetic portion, wanted to show how nice and neat it looked with all the apples on top of each other. But if you can get the apples all cut up and everything before you start, it will definitely cut the juicing time down a little bit. So when I first originally started doing this, the recipe in the smaller blender, it didn't take as much time because I was cutting them up quicker. It's just the frustrating part for me is having to juice the ingredients and not really being able to put it in a big enough container to be able to hold all the ingredients. So I had to finally, once I got everything all juiced down, and I had to mix everything and put them into my mason jar. So yeah, it takes a little bit of work. Like I said, the better juice container you have, the better it works out. But I can tell you guys that this was like the best thing that I actually have done, because I started to feel really great from just that first day. I noticed that my energy levels has gone up. Me being older now, being half a century, we have to take care of our bodies. And I realized one advice I would give while doing this juicing thing is not to if you're going to juice, don't go and eat a whole meal with it, because then it's going to really make you really full, because this recipe is very filling, believe it or not. And I don't know if it's because of the ginger, the cucumber, and the apples, which could be so. The apples is very filling. So I definitely would highly recommend that when you actually do this recipe. I usually drink my first cup usually at around 10 or 11. I usually do intermittent fasting up until about 10 or 11, and then I'll drink I'll drink my first cup of the green juice. I'll drink it, and then I won't eat anything. Then for lunch, I would drink another one, and then for dinner, I would have a nice dinner. I would really eat a nice amount of dinner, eat something healthy. So in order to get the results as quickly as you want, you got to make sure that you're not stuffing yourself while you're drinking this, because some people, may think, oh, I'll just add this as a juice with my big ginormous bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit and grits. No, this is definitely a meal replacer. And if you do it the way I share it with you, you will definitely notice a difference, which I definitely did. That's probably wise, because and you can mix it up. If you decide that, hey, I'd rather drink this in the morning and then drink the second cup in the evening, and then maybe have a nice lunch, you can do that also. This recipe lasted me for about, I believe that if you take let's say you just juice in the morning, then this recipe can give you at least a week's worth of juicing. And this recipe only cost me probably maybe $20 to do this. If you decide that you want to, like me, do it twice a day, and it'll last you about maybe 3 or 4 days. And so that was the way I decided. I'd rather, because I realized that I've got most of my energy in the daytime, and usually after around 6 o'clock, my energy level starts to decrease. So what I started doing is, I find that I will some days I will have my juicing. I would juice in the morning around 10 or 11, and it's crazy, because one of the things I've noticed is that I'm a huge coffee lover, and I love to drink coffee. This recipe actually took away my taste to even desire coffee, which is crazy, because I've been drinking coffee for as long as I can remember. And so to be able to have this green juice and still have and feel full, right? I didn't really have a desire even to snack the way I used to. I am a huge snacker. I didn't eat a lot of junk food snacking, but I think the snacking was a part of me being able to satisfy I think it was a part of the emotional eating, because I think sometimes, especially in Black families, eating was how you communicate, it's how you fellowship. So with me, I've always been that type of woman that I entertain. I entertain with food. I just love good food. I love to, be able to cook and to see my family excited about what I prepare to eat. So to me, a lot of when I would have Bible studies at my house, I would cook. I just love to cook. So I built a lot of my activities and things that I love to do around eating really good. And so this definitely, in order for me to, when I would drink the first week that I tried it, I just really didn't have a desire to really eat a lot of the stuff that I usually eat. So here, as you can see, I had all juiced everything up. So now I'm beginning to pour them inside of the containers. And as you can see, the containers, I had a total of 6 mason jars, but somehow I think one of them I left in the car, because I take them with me on the go, depending on if I'm out during my breakfast or the time that I eat lunch. So here you can see me refilling the mason jars. I highly suggest too that when you actually do this, that if you do decide that you want to eat, that I would highly suggest that you eat between the hours of 12 and 7, preferably 12 and 4 if you can, if you want to see a little bit better results. But I realized that the more you juice and you're eating like once or maybe twice in that time frame between 12 and 7, it will definitely, you'll feel better, because now your body's not feeling bogged down with all the things that you eat. Just think about on a day-to-day basis, if you were to put everything in a bucket that you ate during the day, and then measure the pound of everything that you ate in a week. It's a lot of food, and it's a lot of weight on your body. Your body is under pressure to force digestion of all of those things that you've eaten. And if you've eaten meat, hamburgers, and a lot of steak, chicken, all that stuff takes time to process in your body. So just imagine if you're just taking, between a certain time, between 12 to 7, where people are mostly active during that time, and use that time to actually eat and then juice around the other times. It will definitely eliminate your need to really snack. I can actually say that it has definitely decreased my appetite in terms of wanting junk food. Like, if I do have a desire to have something, I'll eat like peanut butter and banana. I'll have like peanut butter and banana, which I actually love. It kind of will help with that sweet taste that that you want, which is what a lot of us want. We want that sweet or salty taste. So the peanut butter and banana actually helps me out a lot. My kids actually love it. So, and I realize that I feel lighter because I'm not stuffing my body with a bunch of unnecessary foods. It's not going to do anything for my body. So with all these ingredients, you can do some research and see, why these particular ingredients are important in the juicing, because they do different things for your body. And once you begin to research and see what the apple does, what the ginger and the celery and the parsley and the cucumber does to your body, you will see why you get the results that you get. I also would like to say that even with eating, I haven't done a whole lot of like exercise, but I would express that physical activity is important while you're doing this. Now, at the last stage, once I've got everything done, as you can see me here, is putting the last recipe is cayenne pepper. So here I'm putting if I put the juice inside of the mason jars, then I will use a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. If I'm using them in the smaller plastic containers, then I will use a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And I'm not a big fan of hot, spicy foods. It just doesn't do well with me. But this cayenne pepper gave it a little bit of a kick, but it wasn't unbearing to the point to where I was like, oh my God. It was like you can taste the kick, and then all of a sudden it would go away. It wasn't a lingering taste in my mouth where I had to walk around blowing, drinking milk to cool down, the spice. It was just a nice little kick, and I was able to keep going. After I drank it, it didn't last in my mouth more than maybe a minute or two after I drank it. So I actually enjoyed it. I thought the cayenne pepper, I did really well with the cayenne pepper. I didn't think I was going to do well at all, but I actually did. And it tastes amazing. It definitely gives definition to the juices that I created. But I'm telling you, you guys are going to love how you feel. You're going to love how you're able to get up and you're feeling energetic, because you're not bombarding your body down with a bunch of stuff that may taste good, but it's not going to really do anything for your body. So here you can see me finishing up everything and tightening up the mason jars. These are very small mason jars. I want to say this is about 12 ounces in this mason jar. This about 12 ounces. So I filled everything up in the 12 ounces in the 5 mason jars that I had, and then I used 3 of the plastic containers. So I'll be able to have this for a couple of days, and I love it. And like I said, the rest it's not really expensive. So you spend $20 especially if you're going to a fast food restaurant. Now you're spending close to $20 and you're getting a whole meal, and you can literally take $20 and literally invest in your health to feel better, and then you're not having to add all this artificial stuff in your body. And as you can see, I'm tasting it, which I've kind of gotten accustomed to the taste. Like I said, the cayenne pepper does give it a little kick, but overall it has a really great taste. I think a lot of the feeling that I feel has to do with the apple. and the cucumbers that are in there, because those are really filling fruits and vegetables. But yeah, this is definitely something I'm going to continue on my journey, and I will continue to update you guys throughout the process just to show you the results. I am this batch is going to be my second week, so let me know in the comments and let me know what this if you've done it, what results that you have. And I'm telling you are going to be extremely excited at the results that you get. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. But yeah, that's it. That is the green juice recipe that is going viral on the internet. It works. I'm a living witness, and I've only been doing it a week, working on my second week, and I'm already seeing the results. So make sure you guys get it. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.